Hi there. Welcome to the HTM Buddy Build of the U.S.S. Reliant. I'm Ken with Ken's Hobby Bench.
And I'm Jordan with Lighting the Stars.
Welcome back, everyone. It's good to see you all here, except for you, Jacob. You're in the
Yeah,
same boat as Alexander. You know what you did.
that's right. You guys are creeps. Well, how's it going? For me, as usual, I don't have much progress going on, but I got a lot of planning done.
Well, that's good.
Dude, that I gotta say that just seeing the masking go down and knowing that you're going on to your second pattern right now is pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's what I'm at right now. I've got the first pattern on here, and I'm going for the second pattern now. That's what I'll be doing after we're done here.
Nice.
I find, at least in my thought processes, I think the nacelles is kind of one of the hardest areas because of the curvatures.
Yeah.
I think everything else is going to be more flat. I mean, there are a few exceptions, a little bit of a curve here, but in general, it's going to be a lot of flat surfaces after this.
Yeah.
So which is something I'm looking forward to. Like doing up in these areas was much easier as opposed to down on the curved areas.
Yeah. How does the masking, how well does it stick?
Quite well. Yeah, quite well. This is this layer here is a different type of masking compared to the other stuff, which was in black. The black
Really?
you got to use transfer film. This you don't. Um,
Interesting.
and and some of these I could weed just by when I'm pulling it up. It'll just self weed for some of them.
Oh, wow.
Some of them it won't. One little piece. So it just depends. Sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not. But yeah, no, this stuff here can be peeled up a little bit. You got to be careful though. It is really elasticy, so you can deform it a little bit.
Mm.
So that's just something you got to be, cognizant of, or, aware of. So yeah, no, it's going great so far. I'm looking forward to getting more of the ship done. I think once I kind of have this done and the roll bar / weapon pod area done, I think we'll be, on a good track to finish off all my electrical in the main saucer and then get that done. That way, these parts here just get set aside. The last thing they'll need is decals, and
Yeah.
that'll be it.
Wow. So is this the final pattern for the nacelles?
Yes. Because I've already done like these areas in here. I've done the blue up on the front here. I may need to extend it a little bit further down, but that's fine. There's no other actual patterns that need to go on here. No other masking.
Hmm.
Unless there's something like a little masking around RCS thrusters or something like that to paint a little yellow. But that's on your own. So
Okay.
yeah.
Very cool, man. That's very cool to see that you're getting that far along. Um, so then you still have to basically go through and after you get this painting done and is the thought process get the nacelles, get the roll bar done, and then finish the electronics, and then get everything kind of taken care of for painting on the saucer, and then final assembly, right?
That's it. So
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. I just want to have these done, out of the way, and I don't have to worry about them anymore.
yeah,
And then I can just concentrate on the saucer, and then get that all finished with the wiring. Not hopefully not too much more wiring left. I don't think. Um, and then yeah, put it together, sand and fill the seam around. There is a little bit more photo etch to go on the sides. There's those little doors.
oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Oh god, I forgot about
Yeah, that's easy. Just
that.
simple gluing on a piece of photo etch, though, so it shouldn't be too
Yeah,
hard.
that goes right here, right?
Yeah, exactly. On both
Yeah,
sides. I think
yeah,
Enterprise is only one side. The Reliant is two sides.
that's right. That's right.
So
Now, for the Enterprise, does it have a three pattern? Does it have three layers to its pattern? Is that how that is, or is it also two, just with all the fancy phosphorus?
no, yeah, they have the chromatic or whatever it's called. So it's going to have
Mhm.
like the gold, the green, the blue, and the red.
Wow.
So yeah, and you can get a lot of those paints from your taxidermy shop
I
if you
know,
want
it's
the
so
proper
crazy.
stuff. Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Unfortunately, we can't buy that here in Canada. We can buy the powders and then mix it ourselves, but we can't buy the liquid itself.
Fascinating. That is super
So
fascinating. And
yeah.
that's like how the actual paint that they use for the Enterprise, right? The refit.
Yep, that's exactly what they used,
That's nuts.
is my understanding. And then I guess because they toned it down because it was too hard on to deal with the lighting for the second movie for Wrath of Khan, and that's
Yeah.
probably why they just did a simple two color pattern like this that wasn't, that
Iridescent.
iridescent. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't the iridescent pattern. So
Well, and
yeah,
I think that like one of the things with like the Miranda class, and specifically the Reliant, it really did kind of set the tone for ship design for Star Trek going forward, kind of how they do their Aztecing and just kind of some general principles. Like the thing that I think that make the refits so beautiful is that iridescent paint, and it's just a very special paint and ship design that's one difficult to build and two um difficult to paint. That's why the 350 is the Widowmaker, right? And so yeah,
yes,
it's fascinating. I think that's one of the things with the Miranda class that is really great is that it really just was a foundation for Star Trek going forward from like the mid 80s all the way through until like the early 2000s.
yeah.
So yeah,
Although
very cool.
to be honest, having worked with these now, these masks, I'm not as afraid of doing it on the Enterprise with just more colors and just doing a little extra bits of masking.
Yeah. How's the weeding like in general? It's like the weeding pretty does is it time consuming?
Yes, yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Um, it'll be easier on the main saucer Aztec pattern because those are lot larger areas to weed. It's
Yeah.
huge, huge chunks you're pulling out. Whereas these are so much smaller. And if like the black, it doesn't do this. It doesn't come off all in one. You pretty much
Yeah.
just gotta just sit there and oh, sorry, this is just strips, but yeah, you gotta sit there and go through everything one by one, peeling out all the little parts.
Oh my god.
And like for some areas, it's not bad. Like I don't know if you can make that. That's the saucer.
Yeah.
So the chunks you're pulling out are big, whereas these areas back here are really small. It's just
Yeah.
a time-consuming, mindless work. So I would just sit here, watch some of your videos and some of the other guys' videos from HTM, and just sit here and just mindlessly weed away. You know,
Yeah, that's a great idea. And I should probably start getting to that because I have the Aztec dummy set and it's very similar. It's just kind of I think his process is just a little bit different than the mass design. So I'm fascinated actually. I can't wait to share that with everybody.
yeah, I know that Lou's the saucer section ones. You actually use both. There is no positive and negative. That like, sorry, there is a positive and negative, but
Yeah.
with this one here, you just pull out the section, you weed it complete, and take those parts, throw them away.
Yeah.
With Lou's, you actually use both.
The negative
So
and the and
yeah, so
both
you'll
like
pull
that.
one out and you'll put it down. Pull one out, put it down. With this one, you just pull all the ones out you don't want for that section, and
Yeah.
then you put down the carrier film stuff on top, and then transfer it over, lay it down, done.
Nice.
So
Nice. Yeah, and I've got a bunch of that transfer film as well, so which is great.
yeah,
That was one of the great things that came with the Cameo 5. So
right on.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
for me, unless you got anything,
Well, you can ask what you're gonna be up to.
yeah, it's much the same. Obviously my work is a little bit slower because I got so much going on, but I have done a lot of my planning, so gonna be kind of hard to pick up. But I've gone through each one of my sections and I've begun to lay out, the type of thing that needs to be lit The colors of the wires. Obviously all of the blacks are going to be tied together in a common negative and what have you, but basically just kind of planning and laying out all of the different wires that are coming together. I started up here with kind of planning the connections, because the shuttle deck is like a mirror on each side. So basically, yeah, just kind of worked through and got all my wires laid out. I'm going to be using the JST connectors, and I have, as I have done already, there are a few of the pins already done. I've got that done for the bridge and the phaser array. So I just need to go through and do the same thing here. Just make sure that I kind of shorten up some wires, make sure it all makes sense. Because really, for me, this is also going to be an exercise in basically how to create JST connectors and how to, make the model a little cleaner from the electronics standpoint. Some of the things that I've encountered in making models, like specifically like with my Star Destroyer, is the wiring could have been a little cleaner. So obviously, like twisting the wires and stuff like that, I've kind of incorporated some new techniques. And so getting the JST connectors and learning how to use them, and then kind of plan wiring for also like sequencing, because I do want some of my lights to turn on in sequence. I'm not going to go super crazy, but I want the windows to turn on, then like the RCS thrusters or something like that. I need to kind of figure out what all that looks like with the warp engines turning on last. So yeah, just kind of planning it out. And so the plan is for this weekend, go through, tie everything together, get my JSTs planned and put together, and see how it goes. I also got to think about creating the wiring harness itself that is going to be the main that runs down through into the base. So that's going to be kind of mixed in there with that, because we also have to consider that there are going to be a couple of cobs, and the cobs require the that little transformer thing or whatever it is to run properly. So yeah, there's a lot of planning to go into this. I am probably making this way more complicated than I need to. But once again, I'm learning, and I'm attempting to learn a new skill here. And I'm hoping that it winds up working out. I keep testing all of my LEDs to make sure everything's still working, and somehow I haven't had anything burn out yet. So yeah, look, man, I don't know how the hell it's happened, but I've managed to kind of avoid that. So I'm going to keep knocking on my head, I mean wood, and basically just praying that I'm going to be able to do all of this. And yeah, so it's going to be a whole experiment, and whether or not I can actually plan out an electrical diagram and see if I can actually make this thing work like I have it working in my head. I just don't know if I can actually make it work here. So yeah, that's the plan. That's my weekend. I plan on spending like at least 8 hours just like thinking about this and doing soldering, creating my pins, and then figuring out how all the connectors are going to work together. So yeah, that's my plan.
This was my break from the wiring right here.
Yeah, I am so ready. What's funny is I could actually do that. And I've thought about it a couple of times. Like if I kind of want to stop, like my nacelles are assembled. They are ready to be installed, right? So like my roll bar is assembled and it's ready to be installed. So why not do a little bit of the paint work and do some practice on it? So that's also something I need to consider. I do have all the craft paints I need. I will need to get with you on the formulas, of course. And I also need to pick up the adhesion promoter. So that may be something that I go do this weekend. Go to the auto parts store and pick up some of the adhesion promoter and or paint adhesion promoter, and start with that too. Like that's I don't want to like say I'm going to do this and that at the same time, but like that is something that's a very good idea. And you mentioned that, and I'm like, I hadn't even thought about doing that. So Duplicolor, huh?
That's the kind I use, and this is for the plastic for automotive plastics.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah,
perfect. And then it's just the what is it, the Krylon paint or whatever it is?
I'm using Rust-Oleum
Rust-Oleum,
2X.
the ultra cover.
It's the matte white. I'll switch to the English only side.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a 2X paint and primer.
Okay, beautiful.
So, yeah.
So got a couple things to pick up there, but yeah, I mean, that is also a fantastic idea. And if this gets too complicated, I may just start doing that. I don't know. So yeah, that's what I got going on for this week. The plan is to actually try to get an episode out this week coming up. So I don't want to get too far behind, as I'm so far behind as it is. So yeah.
Oh, right on. Well,
right on, man.
I think that's a good starting point for this episode for us. I look forward to seeing what you get done.
And I look forward to seeing what you get done. I'm going to keep taking notes.
All right, then. We'll see you at the bench.
See you at the bench.
Okay, welcome back to the bench. So we're going to carry on here now with our Aztecing of the warp nacelles and pylons. As you can see here, the light's not blowing it out too much, but there's our first pattern. And I'm very happy with that. I did do a little bit of searching stuff. I believe this blue needs to come around a little bit more underneath. And I believe also this bar in here actually needs to be the blue as well. So I'll have to come around and do that as well. But for now, I'm going to move on here with these sheets. Now I've kind of got them set out here, and these are the sheets here from Mass Design, right here. So we have 11 and 12 are the sheets for the nacelles themselves, and then I'll pull out the other sheets here for the pylons as well. Now, for these sheets here and the transfer, we don't need to actually use the transfer film. These are a different kind of vinyl, which apparently, no, I'm just going by what Gary at Mass Design says here, and watched his video, and he shows that you don't really need to use the transfer film. You can just kind of come in here, and to weed it, he just shows himself just pulling it up, bringing it back, or just kind of, like that, just to kind of to weed it like that. Just leave all the stuff behind. So what we can do is, while we're doing that, is I can take some of this stuff here from the previous, and I can kind of mask this off just by, like he was just kind of giving it little tugs, just like that, just to get as much as you can to come off. And then I'll lay it onto this other piece that was used earlier, and I can go through and weed off anything that didn't come off. So now Gary makes it look really easy, because obviously he's done this sort of thing many times before. All right, so that's looking pretty good. But there are obviously some that have not come off completely, so we'll go through and we can weed them out. Some of them are trapped behind. Actually, I think most of them are trapped behind. So we'll just come in here and peel them out, just like that. So I'll get this weeded off completely, and we'll come back and we'll put it into place. All right, you can see here I've got it weeded out, looking all good. I'd say doing it the way where you're tugging and pulling probably took at least 50%, if not more, of the parts out. So definitely worth doing. But it does take a few minutes to reweed the rest of it, but that's not bad. All right, so what we're going to do is put this in place on here. Now, Gary does say you kind of lift this up and stuff, but be careful because it is a different kind of vinyl and it will stretch. And we don't really want that to happen. So what I'm trying to do is make sure that my central area here is kind of lined up as best as possible. And then just gently pull up and straighten the rest of these areas. Just like that. There we go. And across the top. Kind of like we did with the other masking. Now this is where I'm going to find out, I think, how much or how good this this paint is at sticking to itself, because I'm going to have to mask over top of this. So in some areas, like for this blue here, you'll have to make sure I mask over for that. All right. Well, it certainly did meet towards the middle really well. So I have to say that's good. Down here it needs to be straightened out a bit, but otherwise looking really good. Yeah, going on really well. I just need to straighten up a few areas here. I'll come back and show you when it's all done. All right, so there we have it. It's all in place now, looking really good. Of course, again, we have these two little spots here where our floodlights are going to be pointing at our lower hull here. But no, it's good otherwise. I'll check when I go to put this in place. This last little bit might be tailing off. But if it seems to be causing an issue, I'll readjust it once I can get this one in place. So I'll come back in a bit and show you when the whole thing's masked off and ready for paint. All right, here we go. Everything's now been had the masks put on, and what I'm going to have to do now is just go around and just cover up everything else with masking tape or Tamiya tape or something like that to make sure it's been de-tacked, so that not to pull up any paint that's been previously put down. But yeah, I think they're looking really good. Looking forward to getting that second coat on and seeing what it looks like. So I'll be back. All right, so here I am back now. I just finished recording my segment with Jordan, and as you can see here, I have everything masked off. It's looking really good. I'm looking forward to applying my second pattern here. And as you can see, that's just kind of just a light blue that we made up. So I'm gonna get this all sprayed up. Then I'll come back and we'll unmask everything, the warp nacelles and everything, and we'll see how it's all looking. And then after that, hopefully we can start working on putting a little paint here. I was looking at the instructions for the Mass Design paint setup here, and I believe these are supposed to be a gray color. So I don't think I have it mixed up yet. It'll be one of the medium, it's either the light, the medium, or the dark gray. I can't remember which one it is. So I'll have to mix that up and paint that as well. So yeah, I'll come back when I'm done painting this, and we'll unmask it and see how everything turned out. So give me a couple minutes here and I'll see you back. All right, so now I've gone and I've sprayed these down. They just need a little bit of time here to dry some more. But yeah, I know it turned out really good. And yeah, that's what it's at. Now, if you can see here, that's a huge difference with that blue. compared to the white. When you see it in the bottle, it doesn't seem like it's going to be that much of a difference, but sprayed on here, it does. It is a large difference. So there we go. I'm going to give it a few minutes to dry here. I see a couple pieces here. I might come back in and spray a little bit more. But other than that, yeah, I'll come back and we'll start unmasking. All right, so here we have it. I've given it some time to dry, and I think it's the moment of truth here. Let's start clearing off this masking and see what we end up with. So I will start up here. Sorry, I'll try to keep it on camera as much as I can. So that is our primary and secondary together. So that's looking really good. Let's get it off this other side here. Oh yeah. Look at that, and we didn't get any paint peeling like I was concerned about over the Raytheon. Now the only thing I'm worried about now is how well the Raytheon's going to show up from underneath all this. So that's something we'll test next. We'll test all of our lighting. So the only thing I'm not going to be peeling off right this minute is what's on the on the chiller grill, because I will go over this and I will spray a clear coat to protect everything, kind of lock it in. Hopefully prevent any paint from being scratched off or chipped or anything. Not seeing any paint being pulled up from our blue on the front here. Like I said, though, I do have to come back and add to it a little bit. Alright, let's go back here. Good. Now I may have gone a little too thick on this coat, I think, compared to the first color, but I don't think it's too bad. What else we got here? Oh, out of focus. There we go, just like that. Let's pull this up. Let's try and get this all out of here now. Oh, now is that. Okay, so we got a little bit of paint flaking coming off the tape, but not really an issue. But there we go. I have to say, I think that is amazing. I'm very happy with that. So I'm going to get the rest of this off, and I'll show you when I'm done. All right, here we are now with a flat coat on here. This is an acrylic flat coat I just put on here just to protect my paint. The stuff I used is just some Testors Aztec clear. Not really something you can buy anymore unless you find some old stock somewhere. Yeah, this is copyright 2012. I've got a bunch in my stash here of paints. But no, I figured I'd go acrylic, as this is kind of a acrylic kind of themed what we're going with here. So now let's try and take this masking off here. So see, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of cleanup. I got a little bit of paint seepage right around here, but other than that, that's looking really good. I'll pull this one off on this side. Got to be a little bit more careful because this side is painted. Now, I'm going to guess there's going to be some paint peel up here because I didn't put any adhesion promoter on this side. So we'll see. A little bit. Pretty good. Pretty good. Turned out good, I think. Yeah. So a little bit of cleanup here needs to be done. But other than that, I think we have a nice looking nacelle. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So and the next thing I need to do is test my Raytheon effect. Now, this could be the make or break method, or moment, I should say, make or break moment, to see how much is covered up. Now, which is my Raytheon again? I believe it was the green and blue. So let's see what we have. So yeah, okay, I'm at 5 volts. So we're good. There we go. So I think we're still going to be good to go with the Raytheon effect on both sides. Yes, it does kind of, cover it a little bit thick, but no, I don't think it makes it look like it's terribly painted over. I think it looks good. I'm happy with that, so I think we're good to go on our Raytheon effect. So that's it for this part. Now I'll just peel these off on this side here, and I'll get to work on my weapons pod. So I'll be back. All right, so now we're going to carry on and start painting up our roll bar / weapons pod, and it's all on sheet 18 of the masks, as far as I can tell. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off here. We have some stuff to put in these little corner areas here and here that we're going to paint gray, so I'll grab them off the sheet here. Now these ones here, we don't need transfer film for, which is nice. And this is just going to allow us to paint kind of a first layer of a gray in those areas. Now, I believe the instructions say it's the dark gray, so we'll have to mix up some of that. So There's one. Now, again, I'm not worried. I don't need the transfer film. And see, we're trying to go strictly for this panel right here, and then a little bit into this bottom corner of this one. So the good thing is you can move these around. So let's get this on here, kind of like that. So just off of the panel into the lower recessed area, and then right along there like that. We want to make sure we are covering this up nice and neat. Kind of like that. I'm just going to double check. I don't know if this line is supposed to be equal with this mask here, or if it's supposed to come down. But let's see here, because that is it there. Yeah, I think it is supposed to be just that line. So let's, there we go. So now it is obviously overlapping this area, and I don't think we're going to be too worried about that though, because I can just kind of spray from like this kind of an angle and cover that without having to worry about, you know, overspray getting into this blue here. I did when I was doing the clear coat on the nacelles, I did do a clear coat on the front and the back of these photon torpedo launchers, though, to kind of protect them. I'm trying to get this best as I can to line up with that line there. There we go. Just like that. Now there is a point here. If we take a look behind here. All right. That mine was bulging up, but peeling it back and putting it back into place really seems to help. So there we go. We got those two in place. And we'll take another look at our instructions. All right, so looking at the instructions, it's supposed to be medium gray. So I just need to mask up these other areas here. There is this little corner section down here that's going to need to be painted medium gray as well, and then it'll get masked over. So let me just get some masking tape out here, and I'll start masking this up, and I'll be right back. All right, so we have it all masked up, and I have my medium gray paint mixed up, ready to go. And yeah, I'll give it a quick little spray here and see how it turns out. So I'll be right back. All right, so there we have our medium gray on. So we can take a look and see how it turned out. There we go. Mask turned out really well. So that's our medium gray. Next we'll get on with our other little details in these areas and mask up this area down here. And we'll carry on. I'm just going to let this dry for a little bit. So I'll wait till tomorrow because it's getting to be evening for me now. It'll be just a few minutes or a few seconds for you. And it'll be overnight for me. All right, here you can see now I've done the second set of masks here. I'd masked up here in the main body area, and there's a little like comb type masking done on the bottom, and then this whole nose section as well. So basically the sides and everything else are all painted gray. Now, one issue I did have, unfortunately, was in moving this around a lot, the wires for the photons broke off. So I'm going to have to actually reopen this side here, hopefully just this here, and reattach those. So I think this will be the final step that I do for this. This is kind of the main final painting on here for that anyway. Next we're going to move on to Aztec pattern for the rest of the setup here. But yeah, I think I'll unmask this, show you how it turned out, and then I think I'll call it a video for now because I'm going to have to do a lot of electrical work here. So give me a moment and I'll be right back. All right, there we go. So that's unmasked there. You can kind of see that combed effect with those two different colors of gray. So it's looking good. This is all just I just used a whole bunch of micro masking sol Neo here just to create a barrier here so that in my spraying I could, you know, spray under here, get that light gray in and around this whole area, again, as best as possible without covering up the photon launchers that have already been painted with this this blue here. So that's what we have. Yeah, like I said, I'm disappointed that I'm going to have to come back in here and crack this open here like that and work on this wiring. Hopefully it can all be dealt with kind of in this area here as opposed to having to go back into here. But it is what it is. I'm learning. So as I go, one thing I'm learning is I don't really like these really thin wires when it comes to joints, when they're kind of like in these sorts of areas. They don't well, they don't hold up that well. They seem to be very fragile. So yeah, I think that's let's see here, maybe before I end this you can see. Okay, so if you can see there, that's where it all seems to have come apart. Right there. So I'll clean that all up. So it even got my flashing light here and everything broke off too. So I'll have to redo that. I might come in here with some of the Bob Smith Industries Uncure here to kind of get rid of some of the super glue that was in here, or CA glue, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so not the end of the world, just a little disappointing is all, especially when I'm kind of at this painting point here. Looking down here, looks like I might have lost a wire here as well. So I'll have to take a look at that and see which wire that is as well. So I'll get into that here this week, but I'll leave the video here for now, unfortunately. I would like to thank Cass over at Lake Monster Detail for sponsoring this build here with Jordan and myself. And I'd like to say go check out Jordan's channel at Aligning the Stars on YouTube here, and you can see what he's got done. He's also got a number of other builds of some parts works and other stuff that's of really cool stuff to see. So go check him out. Quick shout out to Mass Design. I'm really happy with their masking sets. Does an awesome job. I would highly recommend them. So go check them out. And also a shout out to Will at the Ensign's Chair, or sorry, yes, the Ensign's Chair, for coming up with a lot of this stuff and really kind of being the one of the prime motivators for us to do this build with all his really cool stuff he's put out there. So yeah, so I think that's it for this time. Sorry for, I guess this will be a shorter video, but you guys take care and we'll see you next time. Bye for now. All right, so here we have it. It's all mass, or sorry, yeah. My microphone fell down. Hi there. Welcome to the HTM buddy build of the.
Yep.
Yeah, it's too early.